Well, what is happening, everyone, and welcome back to the realistic playthrough that we're calling No Shortcuts. Today we have a few contracts we're going to do to finish up the month of June, and then we're going to get to a big barley harvest in the month of July. But we have a little bit of a development on the series. We've added the crop rotation mod and the field leasing mod, so we're going to be looking at some fields that we want to lease. Potentially one. I think we'll just add one right away. And then maybe next year, we could add a second one. But really getting out of this debt, which is the goal of this series, it's going to require more fields. And I feel like leasing is a very realistic thing that we could do on this series. As well as the crop rotation planning mod is definitely going to help out. There's going to be a little bit of a hit we're going to take on the soybean field. And we'll go over that later. We're going to get about an 80% yield instead of 100% this calendar year, or this harvest in the winter when we do that. I guess it'll be late fall. But we got a couple fields you can see on the map. We got field 29 or field 28 and 17 that we're going to put fertilizer on, and that should be enough to cover our payments. Was this the turn we wanted? No, next one. We haven't been this far on the map yet. But yeah, letting everyone know that is new to the series, let's jump in here to the loan system. We have a $17,590,000 payment that we're making every month. And we've almost chipped $100,000 out of that debt. So the goal of this series is to play on hard economy, play as realistic as possible. We can't tab, we're using auto attach, and trying to be as realistic as possible, like I've said probably 12 times already in this video. And enjoying some farming until we can get out of that $3 million debt that we're not making a dent in yet. But we're just in our first year of treating these fields ourselves, and I'm about to get to our first harvest of real potential for us for the barley. The barley field is going to get about 125% yield bonus on top of, well, 25% bonus on top of what the precision farming bonus is going to be. So if you're interested in the crop rotation mod, we did release a video yesterday on that, and you can check it out. It's pretty cool stuff. But we'll go ahead and hop in this field here and get the fertilizer done for them, and then we'll, it shouldn't take too long, and I think we're gonna have enough. Maybe we won't, but we'll find out. We have plenty more at home that we can go get, and I thought this was just a nice way to bridge the gap of our debt while we're waiting for some of this money to come in. It's gonna be a jam-packed one, guys. All right, we got the first field done. We're cruising on over here to field 28. We'll get this one done as well. It's a little bit bigger, so it'll take a little bit longer to do. But overall, going pretty good. We still have 3,600 liters of our fertilizer in here, so we should be able to get this one done as well. I'll see you in a bit. Gotta love how long the sun stays up here in Minnesota in the summer. It's 8 o'clock. We still got some daylight here, so we're heading home now, and we are going to get some sleep and blow through the stop sign. That car did too. It wasn't just us. But get these contracts turned in, and then we're gonna get to that. Well, we got some morning chores to do, but then we'll get to that barley harvest. All right, let me just call these farmers, let them know their contracts were fulfilled, and get that money. Noah's going to give us about $6,000, and Ben's going to give us about 13. So that definitely will be enough to pay for that loan payment this month. See you in the morning. All right, 47,000 is where we're sitting today. We got some things on sale. Let's take a look at the used market just in case there's anything. I mean, there's things that we wouldn't mind in here, especially this, but we don't have money for it. All right, so let's locate the harvester and the header, because we got to get this harvest started. I think what we're going to do, we'll get a worker helping us this morning. Is this attached still? It is. Let's go ahead and work on learning how to do this. Maybe I come over here, attach power intake, or power takeoff. That's, I do see that there. Okay, so that's detached. No, is it detached? Yes, it's detached. Now, if we come in here, how do I switch here? Oh, okay, just like that. All right, we just weren't selected on the header. Okay, woohoo! Yeah, welcome to the channel if you're new. This is how we roll. All right, so we should come on over here, and on the other side of the barn, we should have our header. And I think we just want to pull this trailer out so that we can move the header. Well, did that it did automatically attach. Okay, so let's put the header trailer right here for now. because we're just going across the road. I think we'll be safe to do this with the header attached. All right, didn't line up very good there. Let's go ahead and back up and re-straighten out. And we'll sneak up like so. Get that attached, but then we're gonna want to come over here, get the power connected as well. I think. There we go, right here. Perfect, okay. So now let's find a route that I think is safe. Yeah, we're gonna have to loop. We'll loop, we'll get there though. Can't go through our crops. They will get damaged. Yeah, maybe that wasn't the best place to put the header on. Dummy. Yeah, we're able to get over here pretty easily. So let's take a look at the crop rotation planner now, and you'll kind of see what we're talking about. So this little mod here, or this tab here, so field 4 is the one we're working in, and barley is definitely what we're harvesting today. So let's go ahead and hover over here. We do see in the bottom right, there is a crop rotation yield of 125%. So the last two fruits were alfalfa and potatoes. So if we come in here and we readjust this, I was kind of playing with potential there, but we'll go potatoes here and then alfalfa here, and that turns this into 125%. So this is the configuration for field 1 that the soybeans are in, so we only see 80%. Field 7 is the one I'm eyeing for potentially leasing, and it's had parsnip and spinach the last 2 cycles, so wheat was a pretty good option to keep getting feed for the chickens and straw for the cattle. So that's what's going on there. And so we'll build out a plan after this harvest on what we want to put in this field next to really maximize the yield. But I do want to kind of just see it myself. So we're going to see 86% on the top, but we're really going to be getting, let's make sure we're dropping straw. There we go. But we're really going to be getting about 125% of the number on top. So if it says 86%, we're really getting 25% on top of that. So pretty cool little mod. Like I said, we did a mod showcase type video for it that you could check out on the channel as well. And it looks like our yield compared to last time, we're in the yellow now instead of orange. So this field's absolutely going to kill it for us. Amazing. Look at that swath too. So many bales today are going to be made. But let's go ahead and switch this. We're going to have a regular AI worker work on this for now. We'll figure out how to take over if we need to, but we'll leave them alone. We'll get the semi all prepped for unloading, but then we'll start doing our chores of checking on the animal feed and moving around the goods that we need to sell today. And then if we do have time, I would like to look at that field 7 again. Let's make sure everything's connected back here. Looking good. Yeah, I'd like to look at field 7 again to see if we do want to get the lease going. I think it was less than $400 a month, which we definitely can turn that into a huge profit. But before we do our chores, I think we will... actually, let's grab the side-by-side, and we'll have one of our farmhands follow us with that, so we can get back to the farmyard pretty easily. All right, that should be all set good. We'll go ahead and we'll unload them for the first time here. We can see Easy Inspector. We're looking at about 61% full already of barley. And we're just, yeah. This is going to be quite the harvest. Quite the harvest. We'll get them unloading here. Give them a fresh start to go up the other part of the headland. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see the time-saving stock check potential of money that we're going to make off of this. Insane. All right, they have emptied, so let's go ahead and get this just parked over here. And we might, because of how big this harvest is, potentially get another employee helping run the semi as well. Haven't decided yet, but let's head on in. Get those daily chores taken care of selling some planks, selling some milk, eggs. I think that's it. Yeah, that's filling up so fast. I think we do... Man, maybe they'll just wait for us, but gosh. We're probably going to have to start using some auto drive here on this series. But we do have lettuce to sell as well. And, you know, the way we're rolling this series is things that could go bad, like, you know, food products like this. We're selling them right away. We don't have a trailer yet. So we'll try to figure out how many of these we can take at a time. But yeah, that harvester is just about full. And we can't tab. So that's what makes it a little bit complicated doing multiple jobs at a time here. And I think they will charge us a rate while they're waiting financially. So really don't want that to happen. Why is this not... What did I... Oh, there we go. Just... Okay. We'll do 2 at a time, but I think on the way back, we're going to have to swing around and help out that harvester. And this will be our first time selling lettuce. Looks like it's super close, though. That's nice. Like a supermarket over here or something. And look at that. The pallets fix themselves. So just right here. Lovely. So just about 1,000 for each of these today. So that'll be $4,000 worth of lettuce. And really what we're hoping to do is this money we make. I mean, we are low enough for this. Oh my goodness. The money we make off of our daily chores is, the goal of that is that we can make enough to make that payment. And then everything else that we farm is going to be like going towards debt, the profits off of that. So we want to be able to get like our monthly income to match, if not beat the loan. You know, so we can start chipping away at the debt. So we're getting there today. We'll see, like 4,000 a day for lettuce, I think, or a month is a pretty good. And I think we're getting about 4,000 for what we're doing from the little baby sawmill. That'll be interesting. We'll see how close we're going to get to that today. But it's going to be a lot of different chores going on at the same time here while we're multitasking. But to keep this harvest going, I think it is time to set up the auto drive course. So I will be working on that in the background, and then we will get back to the chores. Boy, we got a mess over here that we're going to have to solve. I am going to use super strikes for this. I don't know why this harvester is even over here. What they think they're doing. But these grass bales or these hay bales are kind of in the way. Where? Gosh, this game sometimes, guys. Like, where are you even going? It's like a regular worker. This isn't even course play. And why that would even be a thought of theirs is weird, but, you know. We've seen worse. See if they can take over now. All right, back to setting up auto drive. And we'll have to rescue the harvester here. We got a couple bales in the way that we're just gonna move around. What a disaster over here. We'll have to clean this up today as well. Let me get out of the way, operator. There we go. That should free us up to get back to work now. Yeah, I have a feeling. So yeah, we're gonna have to get to that pretty quick, I think. Moving those bales to a better spot. We'll check on that in a little bit. Make sure it's operating correctly. I think we're just gonna pick up both of these ourselves here. Let's widen the forks a little bit. And snag them. Yeah, that'll be good to get those sold. Then we'll get the milk next. The eggs as well. And we'll take a look at the sawmill and see what kind of goods we have to sell there today as well. But this is like, I know we're jumping a curb here, and I would totally do that in real life if I was just dropping something off like this by my property. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, 1,900 there, or another 2,000. So we're at 51. So not a bad start to the day so far financially. Looks like we do have some planks here. Said I was gonna get the milk next, but I saw these and I wanted to find out. Let's go ahead and see what happens here. I know last time we comically did sell these. What do we got? Nothing yet. Okay, so just the plank to sell today, which is the warehouse. Looks like the best place for that. We'll bring in a little bit of cash from this, but we also need to check at some point today to make sure we have enough wood in the sawmill so it's still producing. I did not notice when I looked right now. Yeah, and getting by without a trailer would be real nice to be able to load everything up on a trailer. Just still a little nervous about money. Doing what we can to get by. And I believe this is the spot for the warehouse here. And they gave us about 1,500 for that. We'll take it. That's actually more than I was expecting on hard economy. I love it. All right, let's go ahead and get these hoses connected here. And 1,170 liters of milk. today. And boy, that feed mixer's in the way. I don't know why we left it there. That was a little silly. But let's sneak over here, try to grab what we have of eggs for the day. And that'll be the rest of our chores, and we can start taking a peek at field 7 to see if we do want to lease that and what kind of work we'd need to do to get it prepped for the next harvest. And let's figure out exactly where we're taking these too. Go to the dairy first, and then we'll make our way to the best location for eggs next. All right, drop the milk off. It's not a great payday, but I'm hoping to start seeing this increase over the next few months. Yeah, less than $1,000 for that. And heading over to the bakery for the eggs. And here we go. Let's see what the eggs are going to bring in today. No? Oh, that's right. These need to be in the air. So let's try this trick here. I don't know if it's going to be close enough to the trigger or not. It did work. Awesome. So 1,100 for that. We're up to 54,000. So like not enough yet of, you know, of income coming in just from those daily things we're selling to pay for the bill. So like looking for contracts or looking for other ways to make money. Right now we still have a couple months worth of the payment in the bank account. So I think we're tracking good still. And we're going to go see what's going on with the harvest here next, because I'm not seeing what I expected to see. All right, let's find the side-by-side so we can get out there pretty quick. I don't know why you're here. The harvester's there. And you're kind of stuck on this tree? Is that what's going on here, buddy? I mean, everything's hooked up correctly. He should be able to drive faster than that. There he goes. And then loop around to the field, please. So much of this field still to do. But while we have this side by side, let's follow them, make sure things are going good. And we'll head on over to that field that we're looking at leasing. Yeah, absolutely. Still, it says 1 hour and 15 to go on this harvest, so... Oof. But getting them unloaded, this seems to be operating correctly. Once they head back to the silo, we'll know for sure. But you see back behind us is our grass field. There's this field here, that's number 3. But then we have field 7 right now, which last month nothing was planted in it. Yeah, nothing still. So you can see spinach and parsnip was the last few crops. And let's see if we can get some more data on this before we make a decision. No weeds, does not need plowed, so that's ideal. We would have to pay for the soil samples ourselves. That's one hidden expense there. I wish that would tell us. Well, I think we're going to do it though. Let's go in here. And we could hit lease, and it's going to be $482 a month. Added expense now. So it is ours, but then if we come in here for precision farming now. Oops. And we purchase 12,000. Ooh, that's rough. Okay, so we also now know that the soil come in here for pH is looking decent. Nitrogen's going to be bad, but it's looking decent, so I think we will go ahead and get prepped to do some lime. But what were we going to plant there? We were going to go with wheat to get us started, and then we'll figure out another one after that. So we have that chore to do. I believe it's August when we can plant. Is it August or September? Let's remember. We're going with wheat. It's going to be all the way to September, so technically we didn't need to do that yet, but I felt like it was right to lease it. Didn't need to spend the 12,000 yet for sure. I feel like they're getting that second headland done pretty good there. These, I think, I'm gonna kind of try to just push them so that they're not on the road. Yeah, I had a feeling we're not gonna have a lot of oomph for these big bales. All right, there, that should be good. And let's go look at these silage bales. Should be about 60% fermented now. Yeah, 61, so that's rough. Having to wait 3 months for that. Now let's see how this operates here. I'm worried they're gonna run into those bales, so I think that's gonna be the next thing we're gonna wanna do. Turn here, we'll get a good view. Nope, they're going to be good. They'll get it unloaded. And taking a peek at the harvest here, it's 1 o'clock already. We're barely starting to land, and this is going to be the first time seeing if they're going to have enough capacity, really, to go back and forth on this field. What a huge field this is. And we see some green yield here for the first time at 114%. They're at 83% full here. They will be able to turn around. So this should start moving a lot faster at this point, and so much straw to pick up. Right now, if we isolate on barley, we already have 80,000 liters in storage. That's going to make us $30,000. Barley price is so low. My goodness. Wheat price is $4.07. I didn't realize barley was less. I thought it was worth more. So maybe doing wheat soon will be better. But we do have 175,000. Like, we have plenty of hay and grass that's going to turn into silage that we're going to be able to sell. We're not going to have to keep all of that. Eventually, it would be nice to be able to afford to make manure. Slurry, we have a decent amount built up. Would be nice to get a slurry spreader so we could start using that as well. And I think in January, we'll probably sell the rest of the wheat, just keep a little bit for the chickens. Just kind of, making sure everything's progressing the way it's supposed to. And I'm going to let this kind of run in the background. And I'll see you guys in a little bit. We're just chugging along with this harvest here, and it's taken a while. I have taken over running cart. I was going to do some baling, but the way this was going with the auto drive, it just was so slow, to be completely honest with you. I walked away from the computer for an hour. I came back and only 20 minutes of the auto drive, or not the auto drive, but the course play time had ticked off because of all the back and forth with the semi. So those of you who follow the channel for a while know I usually like to do a setup with the auger wagons that then unload to the semi, and then 2 semis go back and forth. We just don't have the fundings to get that set up here yet. Eventually we're going to need it, or would like to have it. Otherwise it's just driving around with the semi, and then there is a slight uphillness. That's what I'm going to call it. Incline here. And I did notice last time I was like, this field's pretty flat. It's not. So the extra weight that gets thrown in the back of this semi absolutely is going to slow down our progress of anything, really, because you'll see here in a second when we try to turn around and get out of their way, I'm going to start accelerating. We were on cruise control, and it's just going to make a liar out of me this time. But once we start turning, yeah, you see the speed does decrease, and auto drive was running into that problem as well. So it just slowed down the entire process, and not a bad thing. Just, it is what it is. Long day on the farm, but we didn't need to go this far. I was just doing that for demonstration purposes. We do need to keep following them, so trying to get them to not have to stop anymore the rest of the harvest. And boy, it's a lot of barley. Whole lot of barley. Yeah, definitely all incline here. You can definitely see from this angle. So that is, what the problem is the lack of horsepower when we have 32 tons that we're pulling. It's just not going to be possible. We'll get up to speed here going downhill, which is nice, but it feels like reality. The good thing is we definitely have auto drive configured correctly. It's just not as efficient as it could be on these big fields. And let's take a little inventory check right now. So 312,000 liters, which only will pay us $118,000. This economy blows me away. Just crazy. We can't even keep up here on the last pass. Falling behind, pedal to the metal. I guess we'll just get there and unload them. They got plenty of capacity. We've been unloading them the whole time, but we'll get this final number here in a second, and we're going to drop off a little bit to the chickens first so that they're topped off, but they're not going through a lot of feed, so I'm not too concerned about that aspect of it. All right, let's go ahead and get the semi home and get that recap. And here we are. Semi can stay here. Oh, no, let's feed the chickens a little bit first, so we don't have to unload later. Yeah, they took a little bit there. So they're topped off for, gosh, probably 6 or 7 months. They're going to be good, if not more. I do need to check the sawmill before we call it a night. All right, we'll let that jump in. Let's go check the sawmill. 7,000. I think we got a couple more days before we have to worry about that, but we'll still, cut a few of these trees down. quite a bit to go still over there. And we look in the silo here, we can see 353,000 liters of 335,000 liters of barley, 17,000 liters of wheat. But the yield tracker is what we're really interested in. We go to number 4. In year 2, we got, it says 200. Yeah, so that's wrong because we see more in the silo than this is actually telling. Unfortunately, I think that's might be a compatibility issue with the crop rotation mod. But we had canola the year before, we got 106,000. So we definitely are busting out a lot more liters with our current setup than we did with the old one. I guess we're going to have to jog out and get the harvester and get it home too. You know, looking at the calendar here, it is July, so that is a full year of the No Shortcuts series, and we're finally starting to feel like we're making a little bit of progress. It's going to be really winter. Well, actually, I think August, we're going to sell a good amount of the straw no matter what the price is, because we're not going to want to store it, or we don't really have anywhere to store it, and we have just an excess right now. Insane amount. So we potentially will be making some money on that. We'll probably sell some of the silage as well in August. So I have a feeling, I don't know. I don't know on hard economy. So like my gut tells me that what the work we have planned for August is absolutely going to get us in a good spot to get to when we can sell the barley later in the year. And then next June, when we sell the soybeans, we should be sitting pretty good. But we don't need this header for a while. So let's go ahead and put it away. So we'll come out here, we'll get the hose, or get the PTO detached. And then we can detach the header. Perfect. 42,000, we'll get, you know, about 18,000 plus, you know, the lease payment now will get deducted from our account overnight, but I have a feeling, like I said a minute ago, things are going to really start turning for us when we have a huge baling episode next episode. So I'm Socksway Up. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you on the next one.